Okay, so here we are again with another video. This time, I'm not in Prague. Long story, but so I put the video on my Patreon. I had to, with the COVID bullshit, I had to come back to the U.S., man, because it was on such short notice. I had to pretty much like pack, you know, a relatively small bag and just get out the country and go somewhere. It's a long story. I wouldn't detail on my Patreon channel. See, I'm back in the U.S. right now. I'll be headed to Texas in probably about another week, and I should be there for for the next few months. But anyway, so I finally got time to sit down and think and exist. So I'm gonna go over this video about this woman who goes on about her time. From what I gathered, she's going on. The video's title. Let me see. Tick fucking Tock. Women and aging. Tick fucking Tock. And you do have women like this where there's a population of women who completely get it. They get it. They're like, look, I know I'm only getting away with X, Y, and Z because I'm 22 and I've taken a bath and I didn't eat up everything that was in 15 McDonald's and down the street. There are women out there, they're aware of it. Now, do you have different degrees? Some women, they're aware of it and they let it go to their heads and they genuinely think they're better than other people. Other women, they just kind of become bitchy about it because deep down, if a woman is if a woman is genuinely decent, which there's not many of them out there, but if a woman is genuinely decent, when once she realizes that guys only want her for that, these women will require a man to pretty much say anything except mentioning what she looks like. Like you can just walk in the door talking about how you just love ceiling fans, and she can and she'll love the fact that you're not focusing on her looks, that you're focusing on ceiling fans, and to come around and talk to her. Because see, this population of women, they know that yeah, I'm only getting most of the things I'm given in life. I don't deserve any of it, but I'm getting it because people just want to fuck me. Like they get, and I think it sounds like this girl is pretty much on that same path. But because I only listened to the first 42 seconds, but the first 42 seconds sound like some decent shit. So we're gonna go ahead and play it. I'm probably gonna make this like a 5-part video because it's like 26 minutes, and you know how I talk a lot. So let's go.
Me again. So, officially, the subject matter of this video is how ageism and sexism affect the lived experiences and representation of mature women. Unofficially, this is a therapy session. I am not looking forward to getting older. Currently, I'm clinging to what's left of my 20s, and I'm clinging with a level of desperation that I did not know I was capable of. Let me paint you a picture. You know the girl from The Ring? When they throw her in that well and she scrabbles to get out so hard she rips her own fingernails out? I feel about staying in my 20s, like Samara felt about getting out of that well.
Of course, yeah.
And I think the reason for this terror has less to do with my personal neuroses, which, I mean, plenty to unpack there, but let's leave it for another time, and more to do with societal attitudes towards aging, and aging women.
Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit right there. Societal, blah, 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 aging, blah, no. See, she's on to a good point. I'll give her that. She's on to a great point. But, like I say in other videos, when you deal with women, especially, she's not a bad-looking girl. When you deal with women who look like they've taken a bath and they're skinny and they have long hair, these women very rarely truly understand reality. Now, they understand interpersonally how to manipulate people, things like that, but they just don't, like, they're constantly giving some type of shelter from actual reality. So then, see, this is why people just don't listen to a lot of women when they talk out loud in public, because they just can't understand it. Because like I say in other videos, from birth, when little girls are born, somebody is going to give a girl something simply because she is a girl. No other reason. No other reason. They're going to give it to her simply because she is girl. And see, and this is what women, they can see it, but since they're born into that area, they never get a full sense of what, the other area, what being a boy, being born a boy, growing up to be a man is. They have no awareness of what it's like to not have some type of attention. So they have no idea what it's like to get undeserved attention, how to not get undeserved attention, get something just because they exist. They don't know what it's like to walk in these shoes, to exist. So then, since they don't understand that, well, they all can get their hands on a psychology book. Well, then for most of them, psychology is going to be too difficult, so they're going to find a self-help book that's going to be full of nonsense and take like a quote from psychology, and then they'll run away with that quote and post it all on Facebook and Instagram for the next 5 years. And they're just, and there's it's my neuroses. And look, this has nothing to do with your neuroses. I tell you exactly what her problem is. This is plain and simple. She's afraid because, okay, when she was younger, she looked at that old woman down the street or in that library and looked at her like, ew, or looked at her and laughed at her because she was old and ugly. Because she secretly thought it would last forever. That's why she's clinging back to it, because she's realized it's not going to last forever. So the reason why she's clinging to it is she has no idea what it's like I said earlier, to lose it, because she was pretty much, see, this is what it is to be a woman, especially if you're just physically healthy woman who took a bath. Well, you were born into privilege of just exist, especially okay, I'm speaking more primarily on westernized, and if you're born American, UK, I'd say even Canadian, and if you're born into any type of Western mentality, Western world, especially where feminism took off, you were born into knowing on your worst day, all you gotta do is just open your holes, get a baby, and the government is literally gonna come and hand you a free place to live, hand you free food, hand you free electric, your electric bill paid. Anyway, let's continue because I'm talking too much.
Women in particular, aging for her. Are you worried your uterus is withered and useless? Do you feel like you're becoming an empty, sexually revolting husk of your former self? Women's Aging Incorporated has a solution to your problem. Just give up already. And let the fetuses use your body and soul as stepping stones towards new and better endeavors, because frankly, that's the best thing you can do with the remainder of your life. Aging for her. Some exceptions may apply. Ask your doctor if aging is right for you. Wow, sometimes the ad targeting is just a little bit too on point. But anyway, I am scared, and I'm not the only one. Again and again, I hear girls and women who are young talking about feeling old, about dreading their birthdays, about feeling like they're running out of time. Which is not to say that men don't have these kinds of crises. Of course they do. It's just that, as it often seems to happen in our culture, the women's version of things comes with a little extra twist. Sometimes it's a pink bow. Other times it's the cold, bony hand of the patriarchy just deep up your vagina. You never know.
Yeah, the patriarchy. See, the patriarchy wasn't a problem when you were 23. You see, let's dive into these sections of talking. Let's not blame everybody else because you're getting old. Okay, let's not do that. Let's look at where you were at when you were 22. When you were when you would go to the club and 15 guys would try to buy you. You never had to buy a drink. You never had to. You just showed up as a 20-year-old girl. Let's dive in. Why wasn't the patriarchy a problem then? Why aren't 21-year-old girls who are like legitimately pretty and beautiful? Why do these women not care about feminism? Why do these women not care about the patriarchy? Why do these women not care about pretty much essentially what's going on in the rest of the world? Why do these women not even care about their own parents half the time, brothers and sisters? Why? Because they're winning as women. Let's dive in. Like, I would love to hear a woman dive in on these topics instead of, they're the problem, not me. It's really them, Like, no. Let's have it. I want to see an interview. I would love to do an interview with her. I'm not even going to make fun. I'm not trying to make fun. I'm sure people will think what I'm saying is funny, but I'm not trying to make fun of her. But I would love to have an interview with, like, what were you doing at 22? And did you care about feminism when you were 20? Did you care about the patriarchy and aging? No, you didn't give a fuck. No. You was doing what you wanted to do when you wanted to do it, and then as women will do, you're gonna keep going till you find a higher plateau that you just can't reach, and then start to hate yourself for it. Live on, and then slowly you'll hit 30. That's what happens.
So, I would like to devote today's session to some of the fears women have about aging and a little bit of debunking of said fears. Now, recently, I discovered the analytics section of this channel, so I now know that most of the people who have subscribed so far are men. But men, before you click away, please hear me out. Even though this video was supposed to be about women, it still somehow ended up being about you. Right? I just can't.
Of course, yeah, because as long as it's about men, it's never going to be the woman's fault. That's why. That's why it's going to be about men. Because as long as, these are common manipulation tactics that all women are going to use, especially once they. Okay, correction. Let me correct myself. This is a manipulation tactic that all women who realize their time is running out and being sexually desirable in the top tier is what these women are going to use, these manipulation tactics. Okay, it's going to be either A, she's going to always involve men to bring up men because it's always going to end up being the man's fault in some way. Or two, once she realized she's talked herself into a corner, realize that nothing she's saying is really making any sense, especially if you ask too in-depth questions on anything, then it'll be well, minorities they kept down me and minorities. So then that way they get all the minorities to come join. Yeah. And as soon as these women start doing that, I immediately tap out. I mean, the only reason I'm doing this is because I was recommended to do this. Because I would have never watched this shit on my own. But this is what they do. So how much you want? I'm going to make this part about a 3-part series. I'm only going to make like these 20-minute videos at a time. Because I got like, not the best Wi-Fi where I am. So it's going to take forever to upload this shit. The longer the video is. So I'm only going to make like 20-minute videos. And how much you want to bet? Because I'm going to make different parts of this video with my own opinion. How much you want to bet? Either it's going to come back to blaming men. Or she's going to include minorities in her struggle. That way she can get the minority backing to just agree with whatever she says. I guarantee it. I promise you. Because I already know how. Because I know them. I know bitches. I know how they talk. I know how they think.
Deal without you dudes. I don't know, man. I need you. So please, stick around. I know there's a blackboard behind me, but this is not a lecture. I am not a teacher. These aren't even real glasses. It's all a sham. Anyway, in 2018, The Atlantic reported on a large quantitative study of online dating behavior. Among other things, the researchers looked at how age affects users' popularity, or desirability as they called it, on dating apps. And here's what they found. They found that men's desirability peaks at 50, while women's desirability peaks at 18. Please take a look at this graph. 18, and then it's just downhill from there.
Yep.
The original studies are linked in the video description, and also in case you're wondering, this part will be over in like a minute, and then we're discussing porn. Now, this study did not make me angry at all, because I am a very calm and measured person. But I was a bit curious. My interest was piqued, so to speak, so I decided to look for some more studies to see if these findings were replicable. This is a graph that also represents the relationship of desirability and age, but from a study done by OkCupid. Here we have women peak at 21, while men peak 5 to 10 years later. So it looks as though these two studies contradict each other, right? In study A, the men's and women's situations are almost mirror opposites of each other, whereas study B shows two very similar looking functions, with the men just getting a couple more years of prime time than the women. But really, this is simply because the findings were calculated in two different ways. Study B just took into account the overall number of people interested in a user, whereas Study A looked at both the overall number of people and the rank of the people interested, meaning how popular they were in turn with other users. So, for example, one swipe right from Brad Pitt would get you farther up the desirability totem pole than 10 swipes from 10 Doug Pitts. Can we just take a moment to acknowledge here that Brad Pitt's parents chose to name his brother Doug Pitt? So this man is not only the brother of Brad Pitt, but also is named Doug Pitt. Just, let's take a minute. So in fact, these two studies tell us the same thing. The younger a woman is, the more people are interested in dating her. And not only that, but the people interested are more popular, successful, and good-looking, which I am fine with, because I am sweet and demure and not bitter at all. But still, I couldn't help wondering, do men really just find women less and less physically attractive starting from 18 and onward every year? So I decided to cross-reference these findings with an Pornhub. I looked on Pornhub. So Pornhub Insights, aka the most honest place on the internet, reveals that the terms MILF, mature, stepmom, and mom are in the top 5 search categories for straight men every year. And the women in these categories, they look their age. I can't show them to you.
Okay, yeah. Now I can go into, now she has no idea why that is. Okay. And I know other men out there know why, especially when I explain it, it's going to make perfect sense. Why mom, MILF, and all that. Okay. The reason why that is, she doesn't get it because she's a woman. She's not going to know, okay, because she doesn't have a dick. The reason why that group is more high is because those women actually know how to fuck. You see, they actually know what they're doing. Like, when the girl's younger, I mean, you can only get off so many times to a girl just laying on her back, 18 years old, or like y'all seen that Bella I think Bella Delphine, she has like some whack ass video where her giving a blowjob, and it's just awful. Like it's literally pathetic to watch. I mean, it's just a pathetic attempt at her trying to do porn. Finally, it's just really bad because it So anyway, what I was saying, the explanation of why MILFs and all that is like the top 5 search by heterosexual men is because MILFs, because the older women, they actually know how to fuck. But guys really don't want to marry them. You see what I'm saying? And I would say that back in older videos. Those women, you always want to keep some of those around because they will be better sex partners because they've had experience in it. Whereas when a girl's 18, 19, 20, I mean, yeah, it looks good. You can watch them from time to time. You definitely, watch, but it's only like, they just have no sexual experience, so they don't know what they're doing a lot of times. And like, they have no initiative to be a good whore or anything. They're just dumb, because most girls, they have no idea what to do in life in general from the start. So whoever this girl is, that's why. You're not going to know that, so I have to I'm sure I'm going to have to educate you on it. That's why MILFs and all that is the highest priority, which you might go into later. But that's why. Older women know how to fuck. Younger women don't, but younger women usually look better and are usually better to deal with once you got their brain. They're usually more compromising, more willing to try new stuff. They're more, but they're always kind of behind. So they're kind of like, I mean, every now and then you could find a unicorn in each group, but for the most part, that's generally why.
But I trust that you know how to find them. They look like they're in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. Sound the alarm. Wrinkles, it turns out, do not make boners disappear. Pendulous breasts are not the straight man's mortal enemy. Now, I realize that you can't really extrapolate porn searches onto real life. Because if everyone was watching the porn they actually wanted to happen in real life, I mean, the nuclear family, done. But still, what this tells me is that straight men can be, and in fact are, sexually attracted to women who are not young.
Yeah, well, yeah. See, this is, wow. I'm not even in 3-2-1 mode yet, but yeah, I'm not in 3-2-1, 1-2-3 area yet, but it's just like, it's really funny when you hear a woman trying to make sense. Either you hear a woman or you hear a feminized man trying to make sense out of it. Like, because, see, this is how shallow, like, this, okay, you know how they always say men are shallow? Like, women are, see, this is her shallowness, like, getting pushed onto men because she can't think, unless she goes back later and fixes something, because I'm stopping the videos, maybe she explains herself later, but at this point, this is woman's shallowness, okay? Everything is being based on looks, which that's just not 100% true for all men. Because let's just be real. Okay, Because see, this is what women don't because women are so shallow. They don't know. The women are incredibly shallow. So this is a lesson for a woman. So let's say a girl can be like a 4 out of 10, but she can deep throw the telephone pole and get railed in all holes, and she's super submissive and does anything, and she's like a good whore. Oh, she will beat a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. All right, especially if that 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 doesn't know how to do anything. Gives like the Bella Delphine girl giving whack ass blowjobs. I'd pass on that shit. I'll tell you right, after I watched that Bella Delphine porno, I pass on that. I would never. No. Give me a chubby girl who would deep throw the telephone pole, and I'd walk right past Bella Delphine. She don't even exist. Give me a chubby bitch who could deep throw a telephone pole. Yeah. See, it's not always. See. Women become so shallow, they think it's all about just what they look like, and then everything else will just work out later on down the road. And that's just not the whole case. It's not the whole case. So anyway, I'm going to stop it here, because I'm on some like slower Wi-Fi, so it's probably going to take me forever to upload this video. I'll make part 2 probably tomorrow, or Thursday, I don't know. Tomorrow, Friday. Today's Wednesday. Tomorrow, Friday. But yeah. Thanks for everybody who watches the videos, and thanks for everybody who stayed by me while I was going through that bullshit in Prague. Long story, I'll be going back to Prague. We're working on my visa now, but it's like the holidays, so like all the offices are closed. So I got to call back like on the 10th of January to see where everything's standing. So I should be back in Prague in a month too. I say at absolute worst case, definitely by July of next year, but it should be earlier than that. But yeah, anyway, I'm out of here, y'all. Have a good day. Bye.